Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Healing Truth Podcast, where we share, inspire, and encourage each other through our truth. Today, we're going to be talking about our inner peace. How do we restore it, maintain it, strengthen it, and feed it? You know, our inner peace is very important. It helps us to deal with the world. And believe it or not, that is our best asset, tackling everything that we're dealing with emotionally on our job, in school, in our social groups. If your inner peace isn't strong enough, you come across differently. You know, you're constantly disturbed. I can't fully explain it because I'm still trying to restore minds and all of these points. I'm working on these points, so I want to share it. And what I do know for certain is it has an impact on who you are, how you show yourself out in the world. And I just want to encourage somebody today, anybody out there, um on how you could simply overcome it, and why it's important. So let's just get into it. The first point is restoring your inner peace. Restoring your peace. Let me tell you, my peace has been up and up and down, roundabout, and I couldn't get a grip on myself. I couldn't get a grip on myself, and most of the time it was because I tried to control a situation that I have no control over, but the click wasn't coming. You know, sometimes you feel that everything is in your power, but truly it's not. It's in the power. It's God is the only person that have that power to shift things. He already ordained it. So exactly what's supposed to happen is the way it's going to happen. That's my belief system. So a first point for restoring your inner peace is accepting things for what they are. Accepting things for what they are. Some situations is like you just want to go back and fix it, or you be beating yourself up about it, and it just doesn't make sense because it technically just deteriorating you, and you bring yourself further away from realizing that you don't have no control over it. And the faster you let it go or let it be what it is, there's a saying, it is what it is. If you The faster you come to that realization is, yeah, the faster you'll be able to let go of that situation and be at peace with that situation and probably see the bigger picture of that situation, you know? Yeah, just don't try to change it. Don't try to change it. Before trying to change it, maybe it's I think it's important to try to see what you can learn from it. What is it trying to teach you? You know? We so caught up on like paying attention to what works, but we also should pay attention to what doesn't work or what didn't work and why it didn't work. Because believe it or not, there is something there to learn. There is something there to learn. So to restore it, I would say don't create like don't create false hopes. Don't give yourself those false hopes because you're not living in reality. Um, give yourself time. Like give yourself time to process what you're going through, to understand it at your own time. Everybody have a different scale, and we don't have to be on nobody pace. It's that simple. Sometimes people will be like, people often say, yeah, I don't understand how people could be in the same place for so long, like they ain't moving, they right there in the same spot. But everybody have their own journey, in healing, in your journey of achieving your success, what in whatever it is, everybody have their own pace. And it's important to give yourself time. Give yourself time. I still they are trying to make sure that I give myself enough time, enough space to grow, and you know to get to the point that I want to be, and not fighting myself. Because the more you fighting yourself, you beating on your potential, and because you're so focused on beating yourself up, you ain't seeing what you're missing to actually get to the next step, to the step that you want to get to. So I think it's very, very important to give yourself time. um Love on yourself. Love on yourself, like love on yourself. For people, for a lot of us, that's different. Back up. Loving on ourselves is different for everyone. You understand? Everybody have their own way of how they love on themselves. Probably they're not probably loving on themselves, but they're loving on something or someone. And it's loving on someone, let's put back, because loving on someone sometimes isn't the answer either, but that brings them peace, that gives them inner peace. Doing something else for other people, that brings you peace. But I think, like, in the process of restoring your peace, it's important to love yourself. Try to see what you like, you know do what makes you feel good, what makes you feel stronger, what gives you that calm on the inside, whether it's going to the spa, doing your hair, you know sorry, I always burping on these videos. Ridiculous. I just ate, that's why, so sorry. No, but on a serious note, whatever that may be for you, going to the gym, eating healthy, taking yourself out, in whatever way it is that you are restoring your peace, you making your inside feel good, you should do it. You should do it. The same thing that you would do for somebody else. What is it? Children, your friend, your boyfriend, girlfriend. It's important that you give that time for yourself. You know, be kind to yourself. Speak positive to yourself. Love on yourself, bro. Love on yourself. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard, especially if you've been in a place where you, time after time, year after year, just beating on yourself, and then the world beating on you. Now that the challenge is coming out of that and staying out of it, you know. And I think the longer that you've been there, if you don't have the right support and guidance, you're going to kind of stay there and be fighting for a very long time to come out. And chances are, when you reach to the top, you almost to the tip of the iceberg, something can just throw you right back off, and you gotta start all over again. But it doesn't matter how long it takes, just keep going. Keep going. Keep trying to find that inner peace. Restore it within you, because you're gonna be a better person for yourself and for the people around you. And that's what's important, you know? Okay. The next one is maintaining your peace. The next point is maintaining your peace. Listen. Maintaining is the second step of this process, but it also is very difficult, you know, as close as restoring it. It's as difficult as restoring it, because it's a challenge, and especially if you're not good at those things as yet, you just restore it. I waited till everybody left so I could be able to do my video. Now people outside on the road having a ball on a Friday night, causing a story in my fling. That vin signifying ma door. Like I was saying, it's sometimes even it's challenging as well. It's challenging because the triggers, you know, and the underlining issue of why your peace was taken away in the first place. Sometimes you restore it the right way. Your foundation, you build your foundation not on something solid, So then maintaining it becomes difficult. So it's important to restore it the right way, for yourself, and then maintaining it can be easy, you know. Um, do what you like. That's a point I would say. Do what you like. Do what you want to do. Listen, I always say you have one life to live. It is your life. It is your journey. If you make mistakes, it is your mistakes, and you're going to learn from them at the end of the day. So do what you want to do, whether it's bad or good. You do it. You did it. You're gonna have to pay for it. You're gonna have to gain from it. And don't give two craps what anybody else have to think about it. You understand? I mean, be respectful. Respect other people's boundaries and all of those different things. Be a good citizen. But do whatever you want to do. If it's not disturbing anybody else, do what you want to do. Period. Yeah, do what you want to do. And not only that is not disturbing other people, but if it's not causing you self-destruction, because we also have to be careful with that, doing what we want to do. We have to be careful. We have to make sure that we're building up, maintaining and building, instead of doing what you want, maintaining and causing destruction within yourself. So that's also very important too. Yeah. And just don't hurt anyone else in the process, and especially yourself. Please don't re-hurt yourself, because you're trying to regain that peace, regain your happy, to be a better you. So just be careful in that point, but do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Yeah. And live freely. Live freely, like I said, that's also in cooperation with doing what you want to do. Live freely, you know live freely and healthy and happy, and yeah, I'm blowing off so because although I'm doing what I want to do and trying to, create good standards for myself and build positively, so I don't cause self-destruction, I still in a phase where I'm not fully free. I'm not living freely completely, and I think it's more because I ain't with what's happening in the world anymore. It's like I deal, but I ain't deal, It don't interest me. So I haven't found, I mean, I see different things, but I ain't get it. I don't have the edge. I haven't found that Zeus to actually, to do it. I mean, in a social way, because I find it just to do this podcast. Sometimes looking at myself in the video and thing and listening to myself, I might sound a little weird, but I'm accepting that that is me. I'm accepting that that is me, and I'm gonna block out the nobody opinion. I don't got no time to pay attention to nobody opinion about it, about me. There I go again, burping. Yes. But yeah, I can say these things about myself, even though I don't want to be saying that about myself. But like, I am comfortable with saying this about myself in a positive way. A little, it's a joke, but I still have to be careful with what I'm saying about myself. But I am becoming so comfortable with myself that I don't care what anybody else have to think about it. But I still haven't found things that I want to do socially yet. I know for sure I want to do something different. Something different. Traveling is something, but everybody doing traveling. I think I want to get in tune with nature. Do some sculpting, some hiking, some camping, but with good people who actually on a journey like me, who trying to be on this journey of healing and reevaluating yourself and recollecting and just being a better version of yourself, without any judgment, because that's the thing with the world. It's so judgmental, and I don't care what nobody say, but I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. And that's why I stay in my little box. But it's not good. So I'm hoping that over time I can find things and find people who can actually help me to live freely. We could bounce on each other in a positive way. And I want to be able to bounce on myself, because that's also something too. Living freely is being able to go out and do things by yourself, which I do, but that's important stuff. But I mean, I go out and have a great time by yourself. Go and eat, sit and eat by yourself. I gotta give some of those girls struts. I have to give them props for doing it for real. Taking flights by themselves and all of those different things. Good job. And that's what I want to be eventually. That's what I want to be eventually. Yeah. Living freely, genuinely happy the way I want to be living. And not just doing it because I want to say I do it, but I want to be fed. That I don't even know how to explain that yet. For your brain, they would say you getting like prickles in your hair soon, and you getting like a stimulation in your brain. That's something when your brain experience new things. It's like connections are things in your brain, the signals in your brain are connecting, and that keeps it strong, regenerating the cells and stuff, because you are getting exposed to other different things and seeing different things. And that's what I want to do. So not only feeding my mind, but feeding my soul. Like, just want to have other experiences. I, I keep saying, but I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what yet. I don't know what yet, but I do have to figure it out. See, so even though I'm giving these points and stuff, because I come into a realization of how important it is, or where I want to go, I'm still not there yet, and I'm happy that I'm taking you on this journey of healing with me and discovering. So I hope that eventually that this actually helps somebody. It reach somebody who just reach somebody and let them know that they're on the right path, or bring them out of a path that they're in. Bring them out of a path that they're in. Yeah, another point that I have is, it began to Talk good about yourself, think good about yourself, and that's gonna open doors for positive relationships with yourself and with people around you, your loved ones, your family, your friends, if you have any. I though, but seriously though, I think it's a very important thing because death and life is in the power of your tongue. It's in the Bible. It's in the power of the tongue. And yeah, I don't do the affirmation thing. I don't do the affirmation thing, but I do know positive speaking about yourself is important, and watching what you say about yourself, because it can either elevate you and bring you down. Sometimes our only enemy is ourselves, huh? Ourselves. This is not supposed to be a video, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm gonna edit, hopefully. And hopefully I will, and taking the step to actually doing things to yeah, because that's another thing too. Yeah, that's for another point. Let's just jump right into the other point. Strengthening your inner peace, like you maintaining it, but you also need to strengthen it as you go. Maintaining it, yeah, they kind of a combination, but maintaining it is a different thing, but strengthening it is another thing, because you have to maintain it by doing these points, speaking good about yourself, whatnot. But it's also important to maintain, to strengthen the inside of you, like live in the present, like come out of the past, come out of what happened to you yesterday, like live today, live for today, right now, you know. I don't know how best to even explain that. Like sometimes when I'm tackling in situations, whether it's for school or whatever the case is, I be thinking, like, my mind, it's happening, whatever's supposed to be happening now. But I thinking about what's going to happen. So like tomorrow, and then I think about what already happened, whether it's last year, yesterday, last month. But it's obstructing me from thinking clearly in the present that I'm in right now. Like it's obstructing that, and because that is happening, you're not thinking fully clear. Like it's like you're having false hopes, so it's important to live in the present, because we don't want to have no false hopes. That's restoring your peace is important to know that that's a point there. No false hopes, like no false hopes. Yeah. And also is there's your internal peace, and then there's your external peace. Your inner peace lies within the internal peace, your inner internal. And that that house is like that inner, that internal thing, that internal part to you, because like the external is the things that you're dealing with, your house, your roommates, your school, and everything outside. But like that internal part of you is dealing with things that self, that you need to work on for yourself, that nobody else don't nobody don't really know unless you share it with them, you know so to strengthen it, I would say, is like, what you need to do, to what you need to work on. So every day you can try to strengthen it by doing something to feed it, because you know what it is. So it's like you getting an accomplishment from within, an accomplishment. How can I break that down? I give it I'll make it very simple. I been having a problem with punctuality, but it's going to stop. I'm going to fix it. That's something I'm letting out, and who knows. But punctuality is something for me that I know internally that I want to fix, you know? And it could fall on the external too, because you have to go to your external activities, I would say, you know? But it's creating a goal internally to actually try to fix that problem on your own. So it's, for me, it's like, okay, today I'm gonna get up an hour earlier, just so I can reach 20 to 15 minutes early to work, or to wherever that I want to go to, or to do whatever I want to do, you know? So it's like you're challenging yourself, and then once you do what you tell yourself you're going to do, that plan you make, and you reach your goal, nobody don't really know, but you have a shine, like you get the extra boost or extra type of joy from the inside, knowing that like I challenge myself, I do it, I can do it. And of course staying consistent with doing it. But you feeding your inner self, you're working on you from the inside, and it's silent, but it's powerful because it's making you feel good. You're getting strengthened by it, and it's going to motivate you to want to tackle other goals, other issues, other stuff that you feel like you're going through, and nobody else don't know that you want to make better. Nobody else don't know, you know. So that, that's strengthening your inner peace. That's a part of strengthening your inner peace, saying something and sticking to it. Listen, I out here giving out you two of my weak points. But be healing. I let you know, like I been having a problem with that. Like I I would say something. It is not that I don't mean it, but like push come to shove, and I would just change my mind. Like, yeah, you know, based off of a feel or whatever the case is, it would just cause me to change my mind from either going, doing it, whatever I see, But I've worked on myself to a point from the inside. I checking like, nah, I say I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it. Whatever the circumstances is, I'm going to do it. Even it's like it's really a fight. Though. It's really a fight to actually, you know, go ahead and do it. It's actually a fight. Right, here's me. Okay, keep going. So yeah. And so every time like I achieve, if when I say something and I actually go ahead and do it, I feel like I reach an ultimate goal from the inside, and it motivates me to continue doing it. Yeah, and it's very important, because you want your words to mean something. You want your words to mean something. You want your words to mean something, and by not sticking to what you say, your words ain't going to mean anything. Your words ain't going to mean anything. It's still a work in process, but I'm acknowledging and understanding that how important it is to actually keep to your word, you know. And It goes vice versa. It's like the Bible says, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. I want somebody to stick to their word to me. So I would I want other people to actually say, okay, yeah, she is going to stick to her word. She's going to do it. I want to come across as that type of person. So I'm working on myself in that area as well. It's getting better. I have been, you know, but that comes with, because sometimes you say you want. That's just important to say what you mean what you say, and say what you mean. Because sometimes you say yes when you really want to say no, and then it causes you to not sticking to your word. At least in my case, So if I don't want to from the get go, I want to say no. If I do, I'm going to say yes, or maybe you have different ways, or I'm going to think about it, or it's okay to say no. Period. It's okay to say no. Yeah, it's okay to say no. But sometimes, I think, and that's also a very important something that we need to try to eliminate. It's a killer. The crave for wanting to be accepted, to be liked, to be seen, to be included. Bruh, that by itself, that by itself is a mess. And it messes with your inner peace. It messes with how you come across to the world. You understand? So eliminate it. Like, say no and be okay with it. They didn't invite you, be okay with it. You don't have to go. Don't try to want to be there. You know, it's technically it's technically the approval you're seeking. You're looking for approval, and that is a sum of you being afraid of being rejected. Yeah, you being afraid of being rejected, whether it's by family, by friends, wherever. It's just a fear of being rejected. So, and rejected for who you are, you know. So you try to meet other people's needs and standards, tell well, or while you are drowning yourself. And come on now, that's not healthy for nobody. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the other person who you're trying to serve. Because most of the time when we put ourselves in positions, or when we don't say no, it's either to serve somebody else, you know. And serving is good. I want to serve, but sometimes if you really can't, you really can't, and you need to be okay with that. You need to accept that, And if you're a type of person who has been always saying yes, even though you don't want to, and some people peep that, yeah, they gonna say yes for sure. That's a yes man, and it's no good because they're taking advantage of it, and you can't say no, drowning yourself, and that is just chaos, like for real. Because then you're not choosing you. If you can, you can. If you can't, you cannot. And it's okay to say no. If they was on your side, they would be on your side when you say no. Two. Period. That's it. I have to give people props who just be some people that be really going out of their way for other people, like really, really going out to their way for people year after year after year after year. Even if they get a kick in the, they're still going. They're still going. I have to give them props, but it's not healthy. Sometimes you are that's the type of person you are. That's your personality. That's your character. That's who you are. You know, you feel good serving others. You feel good doing for others, and it's okay. It's a beautiful thing. But check you too. Focus on you too. Like focus on you too. So sometimes saying no will give you that boost, that strength of your inner peace. Yeah, that's the best way I can see it. Yeah. And the last point, I'm so happy that it's almost finished because I want to be doing this podcast like effectively and stuff, but cancel the thought of the enemy, cancel it. But and I won't stop. I won't stop. I will try my best, look for good timings and stuff to actually be able to dedicate myself into this healing journey because it's important for me, and I really wanted to help other people too. Let them know that you're not alone. Because some people are really going through things and they don't have the room, they don't have the space, they don't have the people to talk to because the world is such a messed up place. Dead ass. But my environment is busy. Let me just keep it like that. And there's a lot of noise, and the walls are like sheetrock, so you hear everything. And I can't control that. That's what we're going back to the front of the restoring your peace point. Like you cannot control it, and I just have to accept the fact that it is what it is, and I can't control it. It's either I walk with it, walk around it, but I sure as hell ain't gonna let it dim me down or stop me from doing what I want to do. I come to that decision. Yeah, I doing it. I have to find some type of app to edit or something, but I don't do it. Anyways, so the last point is feeding your inner peace. Like feeding your inner peace. If you like read, following, listening, like all these points are in alignment. Like you restore it, you maintain it, you strengthen it, and then you feed it. Like strengthening and feeding, it might seem like it's the same, but it's not the same. But they are in alignment. Like feeding your inner peace. The first point I have on it is like being grateful, having a grateful heart, be of gratitude, be thankful for everything, for your journey, where you are, where you was, your little bread, your little juice, your water, for your bed, for your job, for your school, for the people you interact with today, the little message that some birdie come and give you that enlighten your spirit. Be grateful. Be grateful. There's a lot of things to show gratitude for. And people, yeah, they have a lot of ways you can show your gratitude, write it down or whatever. But like for me, I feel like right at that point sometimes, I mean, I can write it down too, but I feel like it's more effective once I show the gratitude right there on the spot, you know? Yeah, I show it right there on the spot. I show my gratefulness. I try. It's not even about giving something. Sometimes that's also something you can give, to show your gratitude. But letting the person know that you're grateful, you know, is also important. My second point that aligns directly with gratitude is Sticking with God because He gonna stick with you. Feed you with the Word, feed you with His presence. I ain't perfect. I am a sinner. I am, and I ain't proud of it. I ain't proud of it. So I'm not gonna sit here and be biased and tell you, yeah, this, that. Mm-mm. But I do take time. I do try to get into my Word. I do try. I do try. I do try, but I'm not perfect. I put on my sermons and everything. I try to restore and feed and maintain my and strengthen my spirit, my inner peace with God. You know, because only He can give me. So I hope this thing playing. I hope they playing for real. But anyway, I think so, man. No, but God is my place to go to strengthen me. To feed me, to feed me, to feed me, to feed me. When I tell you to feed me, to feed me. I go to Him on good days, on bad days. I just pray. I pray anywhere I am. I try to just pray. I say a little prayer. And not only for myself, I pray for people I don't even know. I just be going in, talking, wanting good for the other person, praying, covering. And I'll be lying if I tell you, what it means 100%. But I just follow my spirit. If my spirit say pray for that person, I pray for them. Sometimes people that be things to be coming into your spirit and you just have to pray about it. You don't know how, when. Dreams. Dreams. I'd have to get up and cancel them. Sometimes cancel them by the blood of Jesus or pray over them by the blood of Jesus. It's different. But I want to be stronger in my faith. I'm working towards. I'm trying. The walk is worth it, but it's not easy. But this is why I am, and this is what I do to feed my spirit, to feed my inner peace, to get my comfort. Other people have their own. Other people do different things. They have other religion. They have other, and I'm not beating it. If it works for you, it works for you. But my God works for me. You know, Jesus works for me, and yeah, that's what I say. Go to strengthen feed your inner peace and your spirit with what works for you. You know, feeding it is also doing something that you enjoy. Like, do something that you thoroughly enjoy, whether it's cooking, dancing, listening to music, sitting with God, you know, bringing out your creative side, painting, doing a podcast, just talking, creating, editing videos, editing pictures. Because listen, we have some mad skillful people around. People are skillful. I can mention a few, but yeah, you know, it's amazing. Serving somebody else, that also feeds your spirit because you're doing something else for somebody, and not only yourself. And hey, that's what God wants to do. God wants for you to love on your neighbor as you love on yourself. And yeah, it's healthy. It's healthy. It's a very good thing. But just don't drown yourself doing it. I don't know. Sound biased because if you listen, I sound biased. But I do mean do it, serve with a good heart, with good intentions and stuff. But sometimes it's good to take a break. It's good to say no. You don't have to drown yourself. You don't. You don't. Because if your cup is empty, how are you going to throw something into somebody else's cup? It don't make sense. And then because you saw your cup empty, it's starting to steam, starting to burn because ain't got nothing inside of it boiling, you're burning. On a pot on the stove. When you put on a pot of water on the stove and you leave that shit, sorry, and you leave it on for a while, forget it or whatever the case is, and that pot start to boil by itself, the pot cut of water done gone. You overheating. And chances are nothing positive will come from that. A fire is going to start, you know? And some people just don't understand. Some people don't understand that. They don't understand it. And when I say they don't understand, it's because it's like I never see that person act like that before. Somebody do them something. No, you just run out of water to pour into other people, and you need to give yourself chance to restore. You understand? Go and fill your cup and then come back. you know, or else you're going to wait until your pot completely empty, bring that almost about to cause a fire, and then you're going to stop, and you're going to take the time for you to, and you're still pouring what you don't have, and then you're going to go and try to restore yourself, and it might take longer for you to bounce back, to get back to where you normally be, to be able to do the things you love, which is serving people or whatsoever it may be. But take the time out, because if you take the time out, when you restore, it wouldn't take that long to come back to doing what you have to do. Sometimes we burn ourselves out, and you stay down for a very long time because you take too long to give yourself a chance, give yourself that rest, give yourself that time. So please just consider that. Consider it. It's really something. Like, it's really something. Value yourself. Like, value yourself. Don't accept or take nothing less than what you would give to anybody else. That ain't even too much of a wise thing to say, because truthfully, what you give out, you shouldn't expect to get it back. That's one. And two, it's most of the time you don't receive the energy that you give out. So you shouldn't expect it back or whatever it is. When you do it, you do it because you want to do it. That way you're not losing anything. This is what I mean by filling your cup, be able to give out. Not what you don't need, but you're giving up what you can afford to give out. What you want to give up, what you genuinely want to give out, to help somebody else, and not looking for it back in return. And not looking back for it in return, period. Just shouldn't look back for it in return. You shouldn't look for nothing in return. I Growing up, I always hear that, because that's something in like the communities and with people, and people quick to tell you what they do for you. Oh, I buy you this, I do this for you, and this, I put myself out there for that person, and da 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 do that that do that. Don't do it if that's what you're going to see in the end. Don't do it because you're looking back for something. The person don't owe you nothing. The person didn't ask you to do it. It was your choice. So value yourself. Just value yourself. Value yourself. Create your own standards, so you know what to accept. You can't control how people come at you, how they act with you and stuff, but you can control what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take. Period. You can control that. So whereas I'm deciding to pull myself away, I'm deciding to not talk to you out of respect, not being enemy or anything, but I'm deciding not to speak to you or whatever the case is, because you trying to value yourself enough to know that I don't need to accept that. I don't. I don't need to deal with it. And that is okay. It is okay. We value ourselves. We're not diminishing ourselves, and we're not leaving nobody diminish us. That's the best way I can say it. You know? Yeah. That's my other point, yeah. Mm, yeah. think I touched on everything. I touched on everything. I hope that these points actually help somebody. I hope that somebody hear my truth, and don't judge my truth. Like, I'm still a work in progress. I um I feel like I have the drive to do this because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. And I hope it help other people. It, I hope it helps someone else. That's my true intention about this. Being authentic and hoping that it helps somebody. Let them know that it's okay to keep fighting. We gotta keep fighting. Like, you have to save yourself. You need to save yourself. Like, because everybody in a tribulation right now. Save yourself. Don't look at nobody else and what they're doing and how they getting what they getting, how they achieving, or how why they still in the same spot, or whatsoever it may be. You is the main goal. Your peace is the main goal. Once you fix your peace, I'm telling you, the joy is unexplainable, and it's going to motivate you to keep going, to stay in the battle, to stay in the ring. Like, yeah. So, with that said, I'm going to end this podcast. It was nice doing it. I just want to say thank you for listening, and stay strong. Like, don't give up. Like, do not give up. Don't give up. Read. Look at videos for inspiration. And don't only focus on what is working. Pay attention to what is not working and why is it not working and what can I do. What that person could have done. Well, most of the times, if the person is authentic, they tell you their story of how it didn't work, and t- mm, begin with the end in mind and take what works and leave what doesn't work. Leave what doesn't work. And I kid you not, sometimes, even though the way that person did it didn't work for them, you can probably do the same thing and it worked for you, because everybody's journey is different. You are a completely different individual. So just learn from their story. Learn from their story, how they overcome it. And like I said, take the good, leave the bad. Take what works for you, leave the rest. Don't judge. Have an open mind. And